Welcome to this special edition of Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan. Bible versions. Bible versions are quite a topic, and they have been for years. There's the King James Version, established in 1611, financed by King James and built by a number of scholars, the best that the British Empire had. And what a wonderful job they did translating the Bible from the Latin Vulgate, which was the Latin translation of the Greek and Hebrew manuscripts, which was quite amazing through Jerome's efforts in 1100 AD. But what it started was a need, of course, like every culture needs, the Bible in their own language, right? Because we want to read the Bible for ourselves. So in the English language, we have an abundance of Bible versions. I have here in front of me the Christian Standard Bible, the CSB. Now the CSB used to be the HCSB, the Holman Christian Standard Bible. Now the good folks at Holman Bible Publishers decided to take the H off and just make it the Christian Standard Bible because they wanted it to be available to all believers, not just people who bought products from Holman, even though Holman's still the publisher of the Christian Standard Bible. Now, there's the Christian Standard Bible. There's the King James. I have a King James Bible. I have 6 or 7 King James Bibles from when I grew up, because when I grew up, it was basically the King James Bible. I mean, my parents had that green Living Bible, right, with the Orthodox symbol on it, but I didn't know what it was. They sold them at church, but come to find out it was a paraphrase, but that's another discussion. But basically, I had a King James Bible, and we had this program at our church called Bible Quiz, and we could only memorize the scripture in King James, of course, because it was the authorized version. So I memorized things like the genealogy from Matthew chapter 1 and the whole book of James at one point, 1st and 2nd Peter. And so that's in my mind because of the memorization programs. And using Bible software now, when I search for a phrase that's in my head, I have to switch to the King James Bible sometimes to find the actual phrase. So to me, it's important to talk about Bible versions. And here's my favorite, the Christian Standard Bible, produced by Holman Bible Publishers. Here's another favorite, the NIV, the New International Version. And the thing is, there's a difference between the Christian Standard Bible and the New International Version, the CSB and the NIV, and the New American Standard Bible. I won a free Bible several years ago because Logos Bible Software was putting on a contest to people to enter to win a print Bible, and I won a really nice New American Standard Bible. What's the difference? But what is it about all these translations, and what is the difference with them? Well, today I simply want to describe it this way. There's basically 2 kinds of translations. There are direct translations, and there are dynamic equivalence translations. And the direct translations are what the name implies. There's an attempt by the team of translators to translate every word as closely as possible to the original manuscripts. They don't go from the Latin anymore. They go all the way back to the Greek and the Hebrew texts, the copies of the manuscripts that we have. And the New American Standard Bible did an amazing good job of this. And I love the New American Standard Bible. Many scholars started using the New American Standard Bible because they wanted to be as close as possible to the original manuscripts. But since then, there's been other translations. The Net Bible that was done by the American Bible Society, if I'm not mistaken. And, a lot of scholars use the Net translation because it's even closer, they think, to the original languages. The Christian Standard Bible is a direct translation. The English Standard Version is a direct translation, and the King James, of course, is a direct translation, at least from the Latin Vulgate, the best that they had at the time. So, New King James is also an attempt to be a direct translation. Dynamic equivalence is something completely different. This is an attitude toward translation that says what's most important is that we translate the concept of the original authors, the concept that Paul was trying to get across, the concept that Matthew, Mark, and Luke were trying to get across. This is where we get the New International Version and the New Living Translation, which is an updated Living Bible, right? And of course, then you have things like paraphrases. That's just one person's translation. Now all the other ones that I've mentioned, the ESV and the CSB and the King James, even, and the New King James, and the Holman Christian Standard Bible, the English Standard Version, those were done by teams of scholars. The key to me to understanding what to do with all these versions is simply this: which one is easier for you to read and understand? If for you it's the ESV or the Christian Standard Bible or even the NIV or the New Living Translation, may the Lord bless you as you read it, because you want to be reading His Word in something you can understand. If you like to compare versions, we can talk about that when we talk about Bible software. But I think it's real important to understand that the King James Version is a translation, just like the NIV is a translation, and the Christian Standard Bible is a translation, and the English Standard Version is a translation. The New Living Translation, the Message paraphrase, all of it is some attempt to bring the thought of what the Scripture was saying into the easiest way to understand it as possible. So, I hope this helps. Thanks for watching this special edition of Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan about versions of the Bible. Maps!